A reminder, the news doesn't end here. Here's what's coming up on WCNC Plus at 7 a.m. CMPD investigating a homicide on Charlotte's west side on this Christmas Eve morning. What we're learning from police.
For many families, this Christmas Eve can be a time of joy, but for children who lost their parents, it can be a struggle.
We want to add a little sunshine in the midst of their darkness during this holiday season.
How a local mother is helping children impacted by gun violence find support during the holiday season.
So you're traveling by air this holiday season? We've got some tips to help you along your way. Coming up.
Many of us may need to take one final grocery run today.
We'll tell you when a lot of those stores closed. Those stories and much more live, local, and breaking news coming up at 7 a.m. on WCNC Plus.
Well, Christmas Eve morning is pretty quiet out there, not seeing any big problems across those area roadways. I-77, I-85, mainly all in the green. Remember, we just have one active crash for you this morning. It's going to be on Independence eastbound at Albemarle Road, where cars are moving slowly around that one active crash. Otherwise, we have all green in and around Uptown, much of the same if you're coming in from South Carolina. Of course, we'll be following those changes for you on WCNC Plus. But, Chris, it is rather warm, kind of odd.
Yeah, the first part of October is usually in the mid-70s, but we have for Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and a record-breaking Saturday after that. Winter does settle in, so enjoy the warmth.
Warmer than Labor Day, you say?
Yeah.
Wow.
Weird.
Goodness. All right, join us over on WCNC Plus starting at 7 a.m.
Merry Christmas.
Streaming live at 7 a.m. right here on WCNC Plus. I'm Ben Thompson.
I'm Autumn Bracey in for Lisa Washington. We're going to check in with meteorologist Chris Mulcahy. He has more for us.
I sure do. And Merry Christmas Eve or Happy Christmas Eve, whichever the first word you prefer. Check this out. The record high is 73 for this day in climatology, December 24th. That's the warmest it has been since 1878 in Charlotte record keeping. I have now moved our high to 75 today, 75 for tomorrow. So by far the warmest Christmas Eve. Before we were saying perchance a tie, one of them. Now we're going confident saying, yep, looks like this is going to happen. Our high temperatures elsewhere, 76 for you in Lancaster, 73 around Salisbury, and then 61 in Boone. When we're talking about the 60s in the mountains this time of year, you know something is a little bit backwards. Not complaining. Nice mix of cloud and sunshine for today. I think we pick up more clouds as we work our way into the evening. So as we head into the evening hours, as the stockings are hung around the chimney with care, even though I have a fire in the background, you don't need a fire tonight because it is just going to be toasty. This is great if you want to walk around. I was actually in McAdenville yesterday and I saw people in shorts and t-shirts. Now, a lot of those people might be from the north where they don't have that northern blood. And I had a sweatshirt and I actually rolled up the sleeve, especially as you're walking around, your body's heating up a little bit. So yeah, you don't need to really dress overly warm if you have any plans this evening because likely it's still going to be in the lower 60s. Santa's flight. The coolest thing is if he's 3 miles up, it's above freezing. If he's on the rooftop, we're close to 60 degrees. The only thing I am seeing, and this is a change from yesterday, clouds increase and there is a slight chance for a trace of rain. So I'm talking about maybe a little bit of mist, a few sprinkles, but nothing that's really measurable here in the Charlotte area. And our winds are definitely on the lighter side. So that's nice to see. Our rain, we have a little bit up in the mountains primarily. It's barely working its way towards around Morganton. This is kind of the typical flow off the northwest, and that can allow for a little precipitation to form. That's going to fade out over the next few hours, still staying mostly sunny most of the day, picking up more clouds to end it. And then here's the little rain I'm talking about. So right when Santa's arriving, you're seeing a few of those passing showers, drying out substantially through the morning, and then we'll have another mix of cloud and sunshine for Christmas Day tomorrow. Temperatures in the lower to the mid 70s yet again. I have a high of 75, which officially would make this the second warmest Christmas of all time. 77 is the number to beat for the #1 spot. It will be cooler on Friday. That's where we have some cooler, dense air, the cold air damming that's going to keep us on the chilly side. 76 for your Saturday, and then boom, as hopefully it's a transition day for the Panthers into the playoffs. We transition downward throughout the day, back to the 50s on Monday, lows below freezing in the 40s Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. So enjoy the warmth while we have it. All right, Majestic's back here on WCNC Plus. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. If you have places to be, things to do this morning, I have some good news for you. It has been very quiet across those area roadways, which makes sense. It's Christmas Eve. People are off of work. Those kids are home from school. Of course, we still have some cars out on those roads, but not a whole lot. It's a pretty nice start to the day. Want to let you know about the one crash that I've been following for you about over the last hour or so. It's still not cleared, but I'm not seeing significant impacts or delays with it. There are some. You can see the orange here popping up, meaning that cars are moving slowly to get around it. Again, it's on Independence eastbound at Albemarle Road. That is our one active crash for you this morning. If you live around Uptown, if you're traveling around Uptown, it's nice and quiet out there as well. Noticing all green from York County into Mecklenburg County. Usually at this time, now that we're heading into that 7 o'clock time frame, we start to see more congestion build, but we're not even seeing that this morning on I-85. Even out towards Gastonia or Belmont, if you're taking 321, no big problems. Maybe you're packing up the family, you are traveling today. Area roadways are looking great. Again, very quiet for our morning commute, even if you're coming in from Lake Norman. We'll have another check on those roads for you, but right now, things look fantastic.
We continue to follow breaking news right now. CMPD investigating a homicide in Charlotte's West End. We've learned somebody was stabbed to death on Booker Avenue. Medic responded just before midnight, transporting one person to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. 2 hours later, CMPD confirmed that victim died at the hospital. The investigation continues right now. That scene just off Beatties Ford Road and Brookshire Boulevard, and it's only about a block away from where missing Charlotte mother Frasia Baker was discovered dead 2 weeks ago. Baker had been missing since the beginning of the month. Her suspected killer is still in custody. We're also following a breaking news update. Somebody shot last night in East Charlotte. Here's a look at that scene on Sycamore Grove Court. That's right off Idlewood Road near the Albemarle Road Recreation Center. Medic tells us the victim was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. No other details have been released so far.
Well, it is another busy day at Charlotte Douglas. Ahead of Christmas all week, we've been reminding you to pack your patience. And of course, with it being Christmas Eve, today is no different.
The next few days will be some of the busiest at Charlotte Douglas as folks hurry to get to their holiday destinations. WCNC Charlotte's Richard Devane live now at the airport with a few last-minute reminders to make sure you get to where you're going. Richard.
Yeah, Ben, good morning to you. Good morning, Autumn. Good Christmas Eve, folks out there. Ben, in the last hour, said things are looking good. I said not as much because those lines at TSA were kind of long. I'm going to step out of the way and give you some good news. Da, 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 da. The lines are getting a lot shorter, meaning that first rush has gone through. So now hopefully things will continue to go as smoothly this morning because holiday travel, as we look at video, is in full swing here at Charlotte Douglas. Thousands, hundreds of thousands of folks will be passing through or starting at this airport over the next several holidays, this holiday season, I should say. Authorities are urging travelers to make sure that you try to arrive 2 hours before your flights domestically. And if you're flying international, give yourself at least 3 hours. That'll get you through TSA and all of that and relieve yourself of some of the hassles like that might be associated with that. Now, as far as parking, getting dropped off at the airport is probably the most important thing you want to do if you can. Maybe a friend or family member can drop you off at the airport, or take an Uber if you can, because parking is going to really back up, and then you have to carry all those bags over from parking here to the airport. So the most important thing, if you could do that and do that, and the other thing is checking with the airlines to make sure that your flights are on time, because you don't want to see that C word, cancellation. Take a listen.
Yesterday we were trying to get a flight from Miami to come here for the holidays. The flight we had kept getting delayed back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Eventually it just got canceled.
Been coming back and forth for Thanksgiving, Christmas. I will say this is probably the craziest it's been. TSA wasn't working at the Miami airport, so had to use my Clear, and it just kind of threw me all off.
Pretty expected. I mean, you're going to airport anytime after the 20th of December. You're kind of guaranteeing that you're going to experience some type of delay.
Yeah, you can face those delays, guys, so it's important to pack your patience, as we always say. Check those apps, those mobile apps with your airline to make sure that your flight's on time. Looking at the big board that is just off to my left, we can tell you that right now everything is looking good. A couple delays, but everything else is on time. I haven't seen those red letters or the cancellations on board as of yet. Of course, continue to check, and we'll continue to bring you the updates right here from Charlotte Douglas. That's where we're reporting live from this morning. Happy Christmas Eve, folks.
Happy Christmas to you too, Richard. Thank you. Right now, a man is behind bars in connection to a South Charlotte homicide from last month. 51-year-old Marvin Watkins has been charged with the death of 39-year-old James McElwain. The deadly shooting took place last month on Wallingford Street. That's just off Woodlawn near I-77. Watkins was arrested Monday in Tarboro. That's about 3 hours east of Charlotte.
The North Carolina Court of Appeals ruled to uphold the conviction of a 2019 homicide in South Charlotte. 25-year-old Juan Escalante was found guilty of murder last year in the death of Domingo Venancia Tapia. This shooting happened in April 2019 outside of the Lempira restaurant on South Boulevard. Escalante is set to serve life in prison without parole. And this morning, we are learning that a known Jeffrey Epstein accuser with Charlotte ties is responding to newly released documents surrounding the Epstein case.
Yesterday, the DOJ released a third batch of documents with nearly 30,000 pages. And take a look at what we came across. Newly released materials includes this address. It's a South Charlotte address. 28211 is the zip code. The reference appears to come from a tip submitted to the Justice Department. While it does not accuse anybody of a crime, it does add a new detail to an investigation that continues to draw national attention.
Now, that Epstein accuser, Maria Farmer, released a statement saying that this is a moment she's waited for 3 decades for. She shares that she's hopeful this will be an important step for many of the survivors.
There's been a major milestone for Charlotte's Pearl District. Plans have been filed with the city for a residential tower at the corner of Pearl Park and McDowell. It'll be the first one in the new Medical Innovation District. The proposed building, called Inova, will include nearly 400 apartments just outside of Uptown. Mecklenburg County Commission Chair Mark Jarrell says it's a step in the right direction.
It's an opportunity to, really create a diverse mix of jobs and skill sets, and, the connectivity that we have with our system of public education, and to really create a pipeline where there's opportunity.
As of right now, there's no date for when construction will start.
Coming up, the Supreme Court steps in, halting the administration's plan to deploy National Guard troops in Illinois. Why state officials are celebrating and how this decision could shape some future actions.
The Supreme Court blocked the Trump administration's plans to deploy National Guard troops in Illinois, a rare defeat for President Trump from this court. Illinois' Governor Pritzker celebrating the ruling, calling it a win for democracy. NBC's Alice Barr has details on how this ruling may have ramifications for future administration moves.
This morning, the Trump administration weighing its next moves after the Supreme Court blocked an effort to deploy National Guard troops in Illinois in a crime crackdown. The Illinois governor calling the ruling a win for democracy and a, quote, important step in curbing the Trump administration's consistent abuse of power. He has vocally opposed troops coming into Chicago, saying it's not necessary and not what residents want.
They want civilian law enforcement when they need them, and jobs, and after-school programs for kids in the neighborhoods. They do not want Donald Trump to occupy their communities.
A White House spokesperson writing that President Trump, quote, activated the National Guard to protect federal law enforcement officers and to ensure rioters did not destroy federal buildings and property. Nothing in today's ruling detracts from that core agenda, noting the troops support immigration enforcement officers and that the administration will keep working to safeguard the public. President Trump has long defended his National Guard strategy.
We have the right to do it because I have an obligation to protect this country.
The high court justices rejected the Trump administration's claims that Chicago has become so lawless it justifies invoking a law allowing the president to call National Guard troops into federal service in extreme situations like a rebellion. The ruling is a rare rebuke from the conservative Supreme Court, and while it's preliminary and only for Illinois, it's likely to bolster similar challenges to National Guard deployments in other American cities. Other cities that have challenged National Guard deployments include Los Angeles, Portland, Oregon, and here in Washington, D.C. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Congresswoman Joyce Beatty has filed a lawsuit challenging the addition of President Donald Trump's name to the Kennedy Center. She says a recent vote by the center's Board of Trustees to add Trump's name exceeded the authority given to the board by Congress. In a statement, she said only Congress has authority to rename the Kennedy Center. Some experts say while the board's decision was likely unlawful, it's not clear if a person would be allowed to challenge this move in court. And the Trump administration is suing Washington, D.C. in a challenge to the city's strict gun laws. The Justice Department's lawsuit challenges two provisions: restrictions on popular rifles like the AR-15 and the long registration process in which the police department has to approve all firearms. President Trump and administration officials say making it easier for D.C. residents to own and carry firearms will lower crime. The suit is the administration's latest move to refashion public safety in the nation's capital. This is where it has deployed thousands of National Guard and other federal forces. The D.C. Attorney General's office declined to comment on this lawsuit.
Australia's most populous state has passed a tougher gun and protest law following the Bondi Beach shooting, where 15 people were killed and dozens more were injured. Those new laws tighten firearm ownership rules, ban the public display of terror symbols, and expand police powers to restrict protests deemed a security risk.
I want to make it clear that this isn't the end of change. Sydney and New South Wales has changed forever as a result of that terrorist activity last Sunday. And we know it's our responsibility to do everything we can to keep the people of New South Wales safe, and that means further change in the new year. We've given a commitment to that. We're currently looking at other areas of the law that are urgently required to confront hate speech.
These new gun laws, some of the tightest there in Australia, and under them, individual licenses will be capped at 4. Farmers will be permitted to own up to 10 guns. Well, after a deadly weekend storm, California is staring down yet another threat, and this one could bring even more trouble. Chris is going to tell us more coming up next.
Welcome back in. While it's warm here in the Carolinas, this is expected to be a soggy Christmas for many in the Golden State. California has been pelted with severe storms for the past few days, and today is expected to be even more. The Weather Prediction Center says a level 4 of high risk of flooding rain is in place today for Southern California. Governor Gavin Newsom mobilized state resources ahead of the storm, and Los Angeles County issued evacuation orders and warnings for areas in and around land. Now that's weakened due to recent wildfires. Officials say affected areas could get at least a month's worth of rain. All the moisture that's causing problems in California will bring heavy snow in the Sierra Nevada region, likely resulting in a travel issue. We're now going to check in with Chris. He has much more for us.
So you said one important thing there. After the wildfires has enhanced flooding. So I want to talk a little bit more about that, Autumn. So let's look right here. This is a mudslide explainer, but it's also for the same reason why. So what happens is once you burn plants, a lot of them will release chemicals into the soil, especially some of the ones in the western part of the United States. And that chemical creates a waxy layer that's water resistant. So that means water is going to be able to flow along it with an enhanced rate. So as we get that atmospheric river that's flowing up into the mountains, it's creating a lot more rain. But that rain is running down. So that means a lot of the valley areas are getting that rain on top of more rain that's actively falling, which is just adding to more of that flooding. And it allows it to accumulate a lot more, and the soil and rocks can also slide off the slope. So they're also going to be dealing with a big chance for mudslides as well, where some of those houses that are up in the canyons are in jeopardy, just depending where you are. So yeah, sometimes things like this, like drought, wildfires, they actually compound problems in the future, maybe a couple of months and sometimes years. Beach Mountain, probably our least pretty shot right now. Literally have your head in the clouds. It's the only area that we're seeing a little bit of rain and also some fog. Meanwhile, it's picturesque over here in Kannapolis. Gorgeous to start off the day. What a Christmas Eve. I know it doesn't feel like it. I'm not mad about it, and it looks like temperatures are going to be not just warm, but record-breaking. Last-minute shopping, temperatures in the mid-70s by the 2 o'clock hour, still rocking the lower 70s around 4 p.m. I was out and about yesterday walking around McAdenville, and temperatures were around 60 degrees, and it felt great. Imagine what it's going to be like starting off the evening in the mid to the upper 60s, so no need to wear that Christmas sweater. You're going to be hot. Christmas cookout, this just doesn't even seem right. I'm going to do this. I'm going to fire up the grill tomorrow. Why not? It's going to be holly jolly and Yule fire warm, so enjoy it, because once we're closing up the grill and the sun is already set, we're still at 67 degrees. All right. So I want to show you the changes that are going to happen. We have this passing front that's not going to cool us down right away. Still getting a nice little blast out of the southwest. But what's going to happen is overnight, and this has changed a little bit, we will have a slight chance for a little bit of rain. I think most likely this is at most a trace, but it could dampen things up to start off the day. And then we have a push of a warm front that really cranks things up back into the mid-70s. But once the secondary front starts to slip down towards the south, it's going to create something called cold air damming. And that's going to allow for that cooler air to settle in. That's also going to provide our next rain chance. So there's a chance for some on and off rain for your Friday. Still mild for this time of year, but I am seeing a big change there compared to what we were showing on Monday. 75 today and tomorrow, and then 61 on Friday. We should be back to the 70s next Saturday for the last 70-degree day for the foreseeable future. All right, Majestic, what's going on for our morning commute?
We haven't seen any big problems out on those roads. Lots of people off of work, those kids out of school. Everyone's waiting for Santa Claus to come to town tonight. We're looking at very mild conditions. And again, this is Westinghouse Boulevard, I-77, where conditions are looking fantastic. I mean, very quiet if you're heading out the door. We do have one active crash to let you know about. We'll rewind just a second. The one on Independence that I've been tracking for about an hour or so, that one is cleared, so we can check that one off, but we're still following this. Shoulder now blocked because of a crash. It's on I-85 northbound at exit 26. That's McAdenville Road. So again, the shoulder is blocked. So again, minimal impacts. Just kind of drive carefully if you do encounter that crash there as they continue to clear it. Right around Uptown, all green for our commute this morning. And then again, if you're coming in from South Carolina, I mean, by this point, usually I-77, we're jam-packed. But look at this, all green. Not seeing any big problems at this time. Even if you're coming in from Gastonia, good morning to you. Green, that'll be the name of the game, and we are not mad about that. We'll have another check on the area roadway. It's coming up here soon.
All right, live pictures right now over Charlotte. Temperatures 46 degrees, and as Chris mentioned, it's going to go up significantly in the next few hours. Keep it right here on WCNC Plus.
Happy Christmas Eve, everyone. It is a beautiful day today and a record-breaking day. Current temperatures 46 degrees in Charlotte because of the cloud cover. It's actually warmer in the mountains and the foothills, so backwards day there, and maybe backwards the way that you would want this time of the year to be, because we are rocking the lower to the mid-70s this afternoon, and then by tomorrow I think we are picking up more clouds, the lower to the mid-70s. One of the warmest Christmases of all time, and the night before Christmas when Santa is going to be on the rooftops here in Charlotte, we only have a low of 52 degrees, so there is no need for a fire. And tomorrow, 77 is the day to beat, or the temperature to beat. 75 is what we have, so this will be the second warmest of all time. The crazy thing is, this is warmer than Labor Day and Halloween. 7-day forecast showing we do cool down with more clouds on Friday. After that, winter returns next week. All right, Majestic, what's going on this morning?
Good morning, everyone. One area that I continue to follow and I'm watching for you carefully is right here. This is up at Beach Mountain. Looking festive, but it is definitely foggy up high in elevation. So if you're going to be traveling today, make sure you keep that in mind. Most areas we look like this. Not seeing a lot of delays this morning. A lot of people off of work, kids out of school, everyone waiting for Santa Claus to come into town. One crash on I-85.
Well, happy Christmas Eve. We're so thankful you're joining us. I'm Autumn Bracey in for Lisa Washington.
And I'm Ben Thompson, streaming live right now at 7:30 here on WCNC Plus. And we continue to follow breaking news. CMPD is investigating a homicide in Charlotte's West End. In the last hour, we've learned somebody was stabbed to death on Booker Avenue. Medic just responded before midnight, taking that person to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. About 2 hours later, CMPD confirmed that victim died. The investigation is ongoing. But to give you a sense of where we're talking about here, this scene is just off Beatties Ford Road and Brookshire Boulevard. It's only a block away from where missing Charlotte mother Frasia Baker was discovered dead 2 weeks ago. Baker had been missing since the beginning of the month. Her suspected killer is in custody. Right now, the Statesville Regional Airport is back open for service after the plane crash last week that killed 7 people, including NASCAR legend Greg Biffle. Right now, the cause of the crash remains under investigation. Authorities expect to have a preliminary report in about 30 days.
In honor of Biffle's birthday, Lake Norman Humane is offering $16 adoptions for any cat or dog that has been in the organization for more than 100 days. Biffle was a board member and gave his time, heart, and vision to animals in need of a second chance. Officials say this is their way of carrying forward his passion for animal welfare.
This morning, local business owners are eyeing a major federal policy shift impacting the growing hemp industry here in North Carolina. President Trump recently signed an executive order directing the Justice Department to classify marijuana alongside substances that are considered to have moderate medical value and lower abuse potential. The move could shift conversations around marijuana here in the state, where only hemp is legal. A move many in the hemp industry say will have potential benefits.
It does put more research in place and allow for more capacity to kind of look into this plant as it can be used for medicine, which is great because it is beneficial.
Any new hemp regulations will take months of administrative and possibly legislative work.
North Carolina Attorney General Jeff Jackson says he's filing a lawsuit to defend consumer protection funds. Jackson made this announcement yesterday after he said the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau threatened to unlawfully and unconstitutionally refuse to fund the agency's operations. In a statement, he shared that Congress created the agency to protect the consumers, and the lawsuit is about making sure consumers don't lose a watchdog for folks. And now on to South Carolina, where public health officials are reporting 9 new cases of measles since Friday. Now, this brings the total number of measles cases connected to the upstate outbreak to 153. Officials say 5 of the new cases were known household exposures, and 2 resulted from previously reported school exposure. Doctors say vaccinations are the best way to prevent measles and end this outbreak. At 7:33, we know that winter officially started on Sunday, but even though it certainly doesn't feel like it, things are already set to become winter-like again in less than a week, so enjoy.
Yeah, don't be fooled by the 70 degrees we're feeling today and tomorrow. Chris has a winter precipitation refresher to raise our weather IQ before winter season makes its real return.
Winter is officially here, so now it's time for a crash course on winter precipitation types. Let's raise that weather IQ. Let's start with the obvious, snow. We all know what snow is, but did you know the consistency of snow depends on how cold it is from the ground to thousands of feet above our heads? Snow forms when the entire atmosphere stays below freezing. Fluffy, powdery flakes form when it's cold, and heavier, wetter snow happens when temperatures are closer to 32 degrees. Note, but how a snowflake looks really depends on temperature and the level of humidity. When temperatures are below 10 degrees, you have snowflakes that are the most stellar, that look like this. Sleet is snow that melts partially as it falls, then refreezes before hitting the ground. It bounces like popcorn off your windshield and piles up fast. Stat alert! Sleet actually accumulates faster than snow and can often make driving more treacherous. Freezing rain. Freezing rain has a reputation to be the most treacherous. Snow melts into super cooled rain, then freezes on contact with below freezing surfaces. A half inch of accumulated ice can add around 500 pounds to power lines and make driving impossible. Last on the list is grapple. This is also known as soft hail. Tiny snow pellets form in strong updrafts. Super cooled water droplets in a cloud freeze onto the falling snowflake, gradually coating in this rime ice until it becomes a small ice pellet that can easily be crushed in your fingers. So be safe this winter, especially when we're up here saying there's a mixed bag of wintry precipitation. I'm meteorologist Chris Mulcahy with another Weather IQ. And part of that video that we were talking about, grapple, actually just happened a couple of weeks ago right here in Mooresville. That's where we got a video from our own Hank Lee. His wife took that video. Now, cold weather advisory. I want to go through a couple of advisories that we're likely going to see on and off through this winter. Whenever the Charlotte area, so it's different from place to place, it will feel like it's 10 degrees or less, we're going to have a cold weather advisory. There's another one called extreme cold warning. It has to be 0 or less. So whenever there's negative value wind chills, we're going to have one of these. And of course, the winter weather advisory, even if we have a chance for an inch of snow or a light accumulation of ice, we can have one of those. Anytime there's a chance for over 3 inches, it's upgraded to a winter storm warning. So those are things that not going to be seeing anytime soon, but that will change. Now, I do want to talk about some 2025 weather ranks. Officially, since we've been so warm recently, we just barely tied for the 8th warmest year on record. Last year, 2024 actually finished as the #1 spot. We're not going to come anywhere close to that, but the recent warm up that we have over the next few days is likely going to solidify this spot here. So yeah, another year in the top 10. Crazy. Also, this is kind of crazy. Same temperature across Boone and the Beach Mountain areas. Meanwhile, it's 46 over in the Charlotte area. This is actually Beach Mountain Resort where they have their sensor there. There's a little bit of rain that's almost down there. Boone, you're actually a little bit warmer in the lower 50s. And then Hickory, you've been the warm spot. You're at 63 degrees. That's crazy. Now, there's one big change that we've seen here. Morganton, you were in the 60-degree club, but then once you broke the clouds a little bit, boom, that allowed you to cool off right as the sun's rising up. And then Hickory, I think you're going to come down before you come back up. All of us should be enjoying the lower to the mid-70s. Only exception is above 3,000 feet. So as you're heading out the door, should be a pretty festive and mild. Temperatures already in the mid-60s by 11. I was saying if you're going out for lunch, eat outside because there's not too many opportunities that you have a chance to eat outside comfortably. You're going to be seeing people in shorts and t-shirts, maybe tank tops if maybe they're from Maine, but just letting you know it's that warm, so enjoy it. Last minute shoppers going to be not wearing those winter coats, lower to the mid-70s for the afternoon. It is a record-breaking Christmas Eve. Evening traditions. A lot of people have anything they might do, maybe an early Christmas present, pajamas, going out to eat. We like to eat Chinese food, very simple, but a mix of clouds and clear skies what we're dealing with, but we're still around 60 degrees come at 9 a.m., so you're not seeing your breath for this evening, and you really don't need to dress super warm. Tomorrow morning, as kids opening up the gifts, right around 50 degrees is the starting point, already into the lower to the mid-70s by the afternoon. We will have on and off sunshine throughout the day, but our trend is trending in a warmer direction, but we will see a downtick on Friday. Friday's the only day that looks to be a little bit more cloudy. I'm seeing one last 70-degree day, and that will be another record breaker on Saturday, and then temperatures quickly falling behind that front, so keep that in mind. Now coming up, I'm going to talk a little bit more about that cool down, as well as I want to dissect these two rain chances, one on Friday, one on Sunday. I'm going to show you the long term, but in the meantime, we'll show you the now of our morning commute. Good morning to you, Majestic.
Good morning, everyone. Hope you're off to a great Christmas Eve. It's quiet really all around. It's beautiful right here, though, isn't it? I love looking at Blowing Rock. They always do such a great job with all their Christmas lights. If your family's heading out, maybe you're packing up the family and you have a little bit of a road trip to go on today to get to some place for tomorrow, of course, Christmas Day. We're not seeing any problems out there this morning. I mean, it has been very, very quiet. I-77, I guess Banner Elk. This camera zoomed in right now. They have some gorgeous lights out there too. This is where we have been dealing with a really dense fog. Again, high up in elevation. This is out in Beach Mountain. So if you're just tuning in from this area, or perhaps you're traveling out there, keep this in mind. I just saw a couple of cars go by with their hazard lights on because of how dense that fog is. This is a Tondo where we have nice clear conditions. I mean, usually at this time, we're just before 8 o'clock. Roads are jam-packed. People are up, heading off to work, getting the kids to school, and of course, it's Christmas Eve. A lot of people are cozy at home. One accident, though, to let you know about. It's important to note that this is impacting the shoulder on I-85 northbound at exit 26. That's McAdenville Road. Keep this in mind. Also, if you're heading out to the McAdenville lights, like Chris mentioned, you might want to get out there sooner rather than later because traffic is going to be really, really crowded tonight as we're now heading into the last couple of nights of the beautiful Christmas display that they have. Guys.
All right, so many wonderful things for people to enjoy. Thanks, Majestic. Well, for many families, the holidays brings joy, but for children who've lost parents to gun violence, the season can be hard. Stay with us and you'll hear how one local mother is stepping in to help them find support.
For a lot of families, the holidays are a time of joy and celebration. Unfortunately, for children who lost their parents to gun violence, it's often a real struggle to cope with that sort of loss.
As WCNC Charlotte Siobhan Riley explains, a local mother is now seeking some solutions to help children impacted by gun violence find support during the holiday season.
Having gifts under the tree could mean so much to a child, especially those impacted by gun violence. A local mother plans to distribute these items on Christmas Eve. This Christmas, Tina Sykes-Mosley is spreading joy to children who might otherwise feel forgotten during the holidays, because their loved ones lost their lives to senseless violence.
So many of them have lost a parent or a grandparent who was taking care of them. So we want to add a little sunshine in the midst of their darkness during this holiday season.
She's distributing gifts on Christmas Eve. It would have been her son Marcus's 34th birthday. He was shot to death in 2020. Sykes-Mosley named her nonprofit after Marcus to let families experiencing grief know they're not alone.
And then Christmas come, and he's not here. He has a child that he will never be able to celebrate Christmas with, because of senseless gun violence.
Sykes-Mosley says the reaction from some of the teens who received gift cards earlier this week is the reason she keeps advocating for families still trying to heal after their loss.
And remarkably, so many of them said they just want to go buy some flowers to put on their parents' grave, So that's heartbreaking, that they can't use it for something else joyful, but instead they're going to buy flowers to put on their parents' grave.
Though nothing can bring their loved ones back, Sykes-Mosley hopes these gifts can make a child smile on Christmas Day.
Because we believe that grief should not overshadow the joy of a child.
And most of these donations are for young children. Sykes-Mosley is also asking people to donate gifts for middle and high school age kids. You have until December 31st to do so. To find out how you can help, visit our website at WCNC.com. In Indian Trail, Siobhan Riley, WCNC Charlotte.
It's the time of year for spreading goodwill. If you're one of the millions of Americans with pain that doesn't go away, you may find relief in medicine, but a dose of kindness may also be really helpful as well. Experts say when positivity from kindness floods our brains, it can have a really positive effect. It can release feel-good hormones like dopamine and serotonin. It can actually disrupt pain pathways and reduce your overall perception of that pain.
Kindness is really an expression of care. And what ends up happening is it can induce an incredible amount of positive emotional states. In the same sense, kindness becomes almost sort of a life hack, and we call it the helper's high, to be able to have that same mechanism to have benefit in your overall mental health and well-being.
The helper's high, I love that. Dr. Poor says kindness also extends to yourself, so keep that in mind. He says self-compassion when you're feeling pain is a big part of being kind, because when you don't appreciate yourself, you're not able to help others.
Well, our time now, 7:45. Santa is getting ready for his biggest night of the year. Countdown is on. How you and your kids can follow his journey in real time, coming up next.
Good morning, everybody. Boy, do we have an awesome forecast on the way. If you love warmer temperatures during the Christmas holiday, boy, is this for you. Now, this might be a little weird, being honest, just because the way that things have been. It's going to be great for any last-minute shopping that you need to do, but where we've been over the last 5 years, we were 71, and that was amazing back in 2021. Then the following year, we started off at 13 degrees. The coldest we've ever been, by the way, on Christmas morning is 9 degrees. Now, I'm just curious what 2026 is going to bring. Are we going to have the pattern where it's warm then cold, warm then cold? Because looking at all the different Christmases across the board, the one that really stands out, of course, is 1955. But now we're calling for 75 degrees. So this is going to be the second warmest Christmas of all time. So you were seeing me earlier in our stream, then that was about or closer to 7 o'clock. I had this one graphic talking about grilling for Christmas. Yeah, I don't think that's unreasonable the way things are going. So here's what it looks like. Your Christmas cookout forecast. Holly jolly cookout is what it's going to be. And sometimes I make these graphics and I'm also giving a sneak peek of what I want to do because I like to take advantage of any good weather that you have. I had asked, I was like, you know what? I'm going to grill out on Christmas. So it's going to be Christmas burgers out there. Might as well. It's a great reason to spend your time outside, nice mix of cloud and sunshine. It doesn't get much better than that. But over the next 36 hours, it's going to be interesting. One thing that's changed, and this is not really going to impact us, most of the time you're going to be doing last minute wrapping. Kids are going to go to sleep with, what's it, gumdrops dancing in your head? Is that the saying? I don't know, whatever. Well, we are looking at a little bit of rain when the kids are going to be sleeping, or maybe getting up too early seeing if Santa came. But by the time the parents are woken up way too early, most of the rain I think is going to be clear, and we have this warm front that's going to be a strong push of some of those warmer temperatures. We're starting off in the 50s, so I think it's an easy shot getting into the 70s, but those clouds will start to increase yet again overnight Thursday or overnight Christmas into the 26th, or the start of Kwanzaa. And what's going to happen here is when there's a little bend in the front, sometimes moisture can get backed up against the mountains, and that's called cold air damming. So you have a pool of cooler air, and that's why I've been slowly bringing the temperatures down for your Friday and then slowly up before this arrives for today and then again for tomorrow. So we are expecting a big cool down beyond this. That's also going to provide a chance for some on and off rain showers, because often those clouds sit up really low in the atmosphere, so they do have a chance to precipitate, and we'll have a chance, I think it's mainly on Sunday evening and the overnight, so it's not really going to be impacting the Panthers game all in all. But enjoy this warmth while we have it, because before you know it, we are going to be back into the 40s. Where, put this in perspective, tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday morning are starting off in the lower 50s. Look where our average high is, 53. So our lows are almost matching our high. Once you get to Tuesday, our high is 44. Our low is back to 27. Being honest with you, that's going to hurt a little bit. That's going to be a little bit of shock and awe. So let's live in the moment. Don't worry about the future. Enjoy the 70s while we have it. 3 of the next 7 will be near a record and in the 70s. Just wow. All right, Majestic, you were actually clipping an earlier moment of your boots. Can you do it again? People on WCNC Plus need to see how cool these boots are.
But I need you to come over so I have a better balance. Hold on, come on this side. Okay, hold on.
There you go.
Here they are, my sparkle boots.
Isn't that awesome?
Snowflakes on top. I love it. Thanks for the balance.
No problem, I got you.
Good morning, everyone. Honestly, area roadways this morning have been very, very quiet for our Christmas Eve early morning commute. A lot of people are off of work. Kids are home from school, of course. Roads are nice and dry for us. It's a beautiful start to the day here in Charlotte. Do have a couple of things to let you know about. This one here, it's the shoulder that's blocked because of a crash on I-85 northbound at exit 26. That's McAdamville Road. So again, not seeing major impacts because it's a shoulder that's blocked. And then just off to the east, a newer crash here, but it's not on a main road. It's on Regal Oaks Drive. Both ways are being impacted at Truesdale Drive. So again, those two things, I'll continue to watch them for you, letting you know once it is all completely cleared. We have all green right around Uptown, so no problems there. If you're visiting from out of town, good morning to you. It's going to be a beautiful and very warm day here in the city. So get outside and enjoy. It's going to be gorgeous, and thankfully, if you're traveling today, the roads so far look great.
Thanks, Majestic. Well, Ginger the Elf is back for her last day with us until 2026. Now, this morning she's writing her final letter to Santa, reporting back on how we've been here at WCNC Charlotte. Hopefully most of us good. Ginger has joined us every morning, helping to spread that much-needed holiday cheer and, of course, mischief all the way up to the big day. Christmas is tomorrow. We wish her luck, and we'll see her next year. And also, you want to check this out. We have loved meeting all of Ginger's friends out there. So, as always, we encourage you to keep sending in pictures because we want to see what your elves are up to. If you want to participate, all you have to do is send them right to the number listed on your screen.
Take a look at this. Santa almost on his way. Video shows jolly old St. Nick leaving his hometown, the Arctic Circle, as he prepares to start delivering all those gifts. Big day ahead. Don't forget, kids can track Santa tonight on the Santa Tracker inside the WCNC Plus app. Speaking of, we've got all sorts of Christmas content on there as well. We'll be tracking Santa. We've got some local parades around the Piedmont that you can replay and watch as well. Don't forget the Yule log as well, all right there on WCNC Plus. Live pictures right now. We're looking over on West Charlotte. Temperatures almost 50 degrees already, just before 8 a.m. Keep it right here on WCNC Plus.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Christmas Eve. Temperatures in the mid-70s today, mid-70s tomorrow, both at 75. Today, by the way, is going to be a record-breaking Christmas Eve, the warmest that Charlotte has ever had in its recorded history. And close enough for Christmas Day. Now, we do have a slight chance for a little bit of rain overnight tonight, but this is barely anything, barely affecting Santa, who's going to be on the rooftops. Click, click, click. Temperatures in the mid-50s right around the early morning hours when Santa likely is going to be arriving to the kiddos' house here around the Charlotte area. And then it should be a little bit cloudier at that point. But then once everyone's going to be opening up the presents, we're going to start to clear out at that point, allowing for a nice mix of cloud and sunshine for your Thursday. A little cool down with more clouds on Friday. One more shot at the 70s before winter returns next week. All right, let's see how our morning commute is looking. Good morning, Majestic.
Good morning, everyone. It's been pretty quiet. Lots of people off of work. Kids are home from school. Everyone's waiting for Santa Claus to come into town. It's beautiful and very mild start to the day. This is I-77 out near Uptown, where again, we really haven't had any great concerns. Still very foggy there at Beach Mountain. We have one accident right here to let you know about. It's a shoulder that's blocked. I-85 northbound at exit 26. That's McAdenville Road.
streaming live right now at 8 a.m. right here on WCNC Plus. I'm Ben Thompson.
I'm Autumn Bracey in for Lisa Washington this Christmas Eve.
That's right. And we continue to follow breaking news for you this morning. Right now, CMPD is investigating a homicide in Charlotte's West End. We've learned somebody was stabbed to death on Booker Avenue. Medic responded just before midnight, transporting one person to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. About 2 hours later, CMPD confirmed that victim died at the hospital. The investigation is ongoing, but we want to give you more context to where this is happening. The scene just off Beatties Ford Road and Brookshire Boulevard, only about a block away from where missing Charlotte mother Fraser Baker was discovered dead 2 weeks ago. Baker had been missing since the beginning of the month. Her suspected killer is still in custody. We're also following a breaking news update. Somebody shot last night in East Charlotte. Here's a look at the scene. This is on Sycamore Grove Court, right off Idlewild Road near the Albemarle Road Recreation Center. Medic tells us the victim was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. No other details have been released. We'll let you know when we learn more.
Well, it's Christmas Eve and another busy day at Charlotte Douglas ahead of Christmas. All week, we've been reminding you to pack your patience, of course, and today is no different.
Next few days will be some of the busiest at the airport as people hurry to get to their destinations. WCNC Charlotte's Richard DeVay now live for us there in the terminal there at Charlotte Douglas. And Richard, you've seen a wave of crowds throughout the morning.
That's absolutely correct, Ben. Good morning to you. Good morning, Autumn. Happy Christmas Eve, everyone out there watching us on the Plus. We've seen a wave, we've seen a lull, and now we're back to seeing more of that lull, which is good news. You look at the lines here at TSA. This is security checkpoint 1, security checkpoint 2, which is TSA, pre-check, and security checkpoint 3. Also looking the same, moving right along as we're in the throes of what will be a very busy holiday season according to all. Now, as we take a look at video, we've been told that hundreds of thousands are going to pass through Charlotte Douglas, either leaving or arriving from here or even connecting through this airport, a major terminal or hub for American Airlines. Several other airlines here also experiencing heavy demand. Airlines have responded, putting extra staff in place. As for TSA, they've done the same thing, up their staffing for the holiday peak. They expect between the 26th and the 28th to be the really busiest days as folks return from their Christmas trips. But right now, things are looking extremely good. Some key pointers you should make. Know what you can take through TSA. It's important. Go online. We have that information online. You know what you can pack, what you can carry through TSA. Also, if you're going to come to the airport, you give yourself 2 hours if you're flying domestically, just about 3 hours if you're flying international. And also, it's best if you can just get dropped off here at the airport. So a family or friends or someone like that can drop you off, or you can do a ride share, Uber, something like that. Even better. The most important thing also is just keep in touch with your airlines to make sure that your flight gets to where it's going is on time. And everyone fears that big C word, cancellations. Take a listen.
Yesterday we were trying to get a flight from Miami to come here for the holidays. The flight we had kept getting delayed back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Eventually, it got canceled.
Been coming back and forth for Thanksgiving, Christmas. I will say this is probably the craziest it's been. TSA wasn't working at the Miami airport, so had to use my clear, and it just kind of threw me all off.
Pretty expected. I mean, you're going to airport anytime after the 20th of December. You're kind of guaranteeing that you're going to experience some type of delay.
Yeah, and that's what you need to worry about. But the most important thing, if you stay in touch with your airlines ahead of time, you should be okay. Looking at the big board, which is right off to my left over here, so far I'm not seeing any cancellations, which is good news for folks out there. It is time to rock and roll to your Christmas destinations. If you go out there, have a good and safe time. I actually don't have my earpiece. It went off a few seconds ago, so that's what I need for Christmas, Autumn. I want a new earpiece. Okay? Okay. Sending it back to you guys.
I'm not sure if Santa will deliver that, but we'll try.
We'll work hard to get it to you.
That's right, Richard. Thank you. Well, there's been a major milestone for Charlotte's Pearl District. Plans have been filed with the city for a residential tower at the corner of Pearl Park and McDowell. It'll be the first one in the new Medical Innovation District. The proposed building, called Innova, will include nearly 400 apartments just outside of Uptown. Mecklenburg County Commission Chair Mark Jarrell says it's a step in the right direction.
It's an opportunity to, really create a diverse mix of jobs and skill sets, and, the connectivity that we have with our system of public education, and to really create a pipeline where there's opportunity.
As of right now, there's no date for when construction will start. Charlotte-based Elevation Church set to launch its own Elevation College program next fall in a partnership with Florida-based Southeastern University. The church promised a degree path focused on Christian ministry for traditional college-aged students. While Elevation College itself is not accredited, it will offer students in the Charlotte area the ability to take courses offered by Southeastern to earn one of a handful of degree programs.
Well, here we go. December 24th, Christmas Eve, 75 degrees. Where are we? We should be averaging about the low to the mid 50s. Instead, we're about 20 degrees above that. Record high 73 back in 2015. Forget about it. That's going to be in the past, rearview mirror. We're doing it. 75 degrees. Nice mix of cloud and sunshine. Already sunshine right now, just some upper level clouds. So yeah, it's not going to be a cloudless day, but it will be warm across the board. Still a little bit of some sprinkle action happening up in the mountains, and then eventually you'll dry out before we do have another round arriving later on tonight. I'll get to that. I'm getting ahead of myself. Evening traditions, whatever you do this evening, maybe indoors or outdoors, I highly recommend a stroll or something, or even roll the windows down if you're traveling. This is incredible. Temperatures still in the upper 50s, around 10 to 11, and when Santa is arriving, temperatures will be in the mid 50s roughly. So, ho, ho, ho! On the rooftops, we have the mid 50s, slight chance for rain heading into the early morning hours. It could turn overcast, but again, many of us are going to be sleeping unless you're staying up super late, doing any last minute wrapping. Raise your hand. Yep, that's going to be me. And up above our heads, about a mile up, it's still around 50 degrees. That's insane. You have no idea. Because typically, it can get cooler the further that you go up in the atmosphere, especially around 3 miles up, between about 15 and 17,000 feet. I was looking at some model data, but I think we're going to be just above that freezing point. Typically, it's much, much colder than that, and whenever there's precipitation this time of year, it's usually snowing up there before it may melt over to rain or change precipitation types, as we have learned in our weather IQ today. Christmas forecast December 25th, starting in the 50s, end game in the low to the mid 70s. For the first time ever, I adjusted the grilling forecast and put some Christmas lights on it. Didn't really ever think about that. And over the next 7 days, we will have a couple of rain chances that I do want to focus in on here because I've been so excited about the records, but one day is going to stand out from all the rest. So let's go through our futurecast and I'll show you exactly what's going to happen. We have some passing fronts. One that rolls through will allow for a little bit of rain. I think likely this is either a trace of rain or less than 0.05 of an inch. So like I'm talking about a mere trace to barely measurable through the early morning hours. And this cloud cover eventually could get out of here, but watch what happens. For your Christmas day, on and off clouds. But once you get to about 10 p.m., we start to see those clouds build in. A lot of moisture builds in. And we have a phenomenon called cold air damming. And when you have that backed up against the mountains, that creates an overcast day, a cooler day, and a damper day. So you will have a chance for on and off rain chances for your Friday. That's why this one stands out from all the rest. By the weekend, we warm back up to 76 degrees, cooler by Sunday, and then that's where we will have our next chance for rain. That looks to be Sunday night, down by Monday morning, and that'll bring us back to stark reality, back to winter, just in time to end 2025. It's been a good year overall. Let's see if it's been a good morning commute for this 24th of December. Good morning, Majestic.
Good morning, everyone. If only this morning could be repeated each and every day. It's been so quiet, but of course, lots of people are off of work. Kids are home from school, so we would expect a pretty quiet morning out on those roads. This is I-77 at Gold Hill, where traffic continues to flow just fine. This is out there in Banner Elk, where some of those roads may still be a little bit damp at times, and we have seen those winds that are actually quite gusty. So yes, a little breezy up there in higher elevations. This is what we're seeing here, I-77 at 277 right by Uptown. No problems out on those roads, and that's a fog that I was talking about there at Beach Mountain. I've seen multiple cars driving with their hazard lights on because of how dense that fog is. Right now, we only have one active crash. It's right here. It's going to be on Regal Oaks Drive, impacting both directions at Trousdale Drive. Other than that, everything is looking okay for now. Autumn.
All right, thanks. Before we head to break, here's an exclusive shopping deal for our viewers.
Hey, you know how we do it. Our team is always testing tons of products. We get rid of the rejects, only show you the best ones, and that's why I want to show you this thing today. It's the Tire Hero Portable Tire Inflator. Let me shut this off for a second. Literally true story, 2 weeks ago, I got stuck on the side of the road, glass in the tire. I barely made it to the gas station. Almost cost me hundreds of dollars to tow. So you need one of these anyway. The reason I think this is one of the best on the market is for this reason. Come on, again, let me show you. So let's say you don't know the PSI of your car, you don't know what it's supposed to be, or if you want to inflate a ball, it does it for you. So you see the little car icon right there? You can flip through these. Okay, I want to do my car. No, I want to do my motorcycle, little motorcycle icon. I want to do my bicycle tire. Or I want to do a soccer ball or an exercise ball. I just blew these up. The other cool thing about this is this. Come on and look at this. It's got the USB adapters here. It acts as a portable battery charger, so you can charge your tablet, you can charge your phone. It also comes with all these different nozzles for kind of anything you would have. It's small enough to literally, I mean, it's a pretty packed glove compartment, right? Look at that. It still fits. Nice and easy. Got a great deal for you on this today. And by the way, you want one of these anyway. You want this anyway because you can save $60 a year for properly inflated tires. So why wouldn't you? Get this one though, because I think it's the best on the market. $69.99 normally. Got a deal for you today. 20% off down to $55.99. Scan the QR code on the screen right now or go to shoptvdeals.com.
Welcome back at 8:13. A Fairview resident was told months ago he was going to get help from a state program to remove Helene debris from his property. He says crews have not returned to finish the job. Ryan Stockett spoke with involved agencies to find out what went wrong and why the piles of debris are still sitting in the same spot months later.
Earlier this year, the property owner applied to have this waterway cleared out as well as the debris pile behind me. Workers did come out and they said they'd be back, but now it's been months and this pile is still here.
They said that I was on a list and they were going to come out and clean this up. The people that cut it up said they're going to be back out in about 2 weeks, and I think that was about 8 months ago.
Weeks turn to months as Fairview resident Brian Rue waits for crews to return to his property and to clear out the piles of trees in his backyard. A crew was here earlier this year cutting up the debris, but have not been back to get rid of it.
There's stacks of trees everywhere around here. I was hoping that would have been cleared out, but you know, this is the important one to me that really needs to go, because there's no way for me to remove it.
This after Rue applied for both the private property debris removal program and the waterway debris removal program. The waterway going through his property is blocked by a pile of trees and a large landslide. We reached out to Buncombe County to find out why crews never returned, and a county official texted us back clarifying that it was actually the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers who managed the debris removal. We reached out to the Corps of Engineers for comment. They sent back a statement saying in part, under the specific mission scope provided to us by FEMA, debris affiliated with landslides is not eligible for USAID's direct federal assistance programs.
It would have been nice if they shared that with me. I had no idea of any of that at all. I still was expecting they were going to show up out here at some point, and they were just busy with all the other issues out here.
The statement also said in part, because we recognize the significant impact this has on the resident, we have shared this property's information with the NC Emergency Management Statewide Landslide Task Force to ensure the state recovery team is aware of their specific needs.
I'd just like to see this cleaned up, and really a lot of the areas out here get cleaned up that need it still.
Well, in the days since the death of former Governor Jim Hunt, many North Carolinians have shared their Governor Hunt stories. There's now a way for those stories to be shared with the governor's family as well.
A book of condolences is available for signing by the public. It's set up on a small table in the rotunda of the Capitol building in Raleigh. Former employee of Hunt's administration, Brad Wilson, spoke of the work Governor Hunt did for North Carolina even after he left office.
Jim Hunt was the example of how to bring people together from opposing points of view and different points of view and coalesce that spirit and that energy to move North Carolina forward.
The book will be available to sign through January 2nd. It will then be presented to the Hunt family.
The NTSB is still investigating a plane crash in Statesville that killed 7 people back last Thursday, including former NASCAR legend Greg Biffle. While many knew Biffle as a driver, pilot Gary Ostberg knew him as a friend. The two met while Greg was giving him emergency procedure training at the Bell Helicopter Training Academy in Texas. From that point on, a lifelong friendship was built.
When you get them in a cockpit of a helicopter and you start turning the motors off and doing all these fun things with the hydraulics, you learn who they are. You have a lot of fun conversations. One of the pictures that I have, matter of fact, this picture right here, that's the helicopter he and I did emergency procedure training in, and that's his jet behind there. If you needed something, Greg would give you the sleeves off his shirt. If you ever saw him, the latest thing was ripping the sleeves off his shirt.
Biffle used his helicopter skills to help with relief efforts following Hurricane Helene. Biffle will be remembered as a race car driver, but Gary believes he leaves behind a legacy of philanthropy as well.
My crazy stat of the morning. Labor Day was 74 degrees. Halloween had a high of 65. This Christmas Day will be warmer at 75 degrees. Trying to challenge the top spot for the warmest of all time. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about where we're going and everything you need to know right here on WCNC Plus. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Weather impacts, don't worry about anything in the near term. We're just impacted records because 73, 2015, it thought it was safe for Christmas Eve, but no. 11 years later, 2025 wants to come in with a high of 75 degrees. And we're pretty confident about this one because oftentimes you can get really close and then you kind of miss out on it. Worst case scenario, we miss out on 2 degrees, but we're starting off so warm. That's step number 1. And number 2, yesterday exceeded expectations. Now we will have more clouds than what we had yesterday, but still fantastic. We've also brought up our Christmas Day forecast, close to that record of 77 back in 1955. Friday, no chance, because Friday does not look to be a great day. That's honestly the worst day of our holiday season, which is maybe giving you an excuse to be lazy. Great for going to the movies, great for maybe binging Stranger Things. That's going to be a big deal for a lot of us. Yeah, Stranger Things fans? Anyone? Okay. And Saturday is 76. 72 is the record set back in 2021. As you can see, was records back-to-back years. 2021 was the last time we were this warm around Christmas, and one of the 6 days that we hit 70 degrees plus. When it feels like I made this back in October where it wasn't feeling like October, and it really just paints a picture that over the coming days we're fluctuating between October and November like weather. And the reason why these bars are smaller down here is that we don't have as big of a temperature range change the later you go into the year. Like October goes from 78 to 68, and then November goes from 68 to 58, and then after that it winds down to an average about 52, and then that's exactly what we'll have. We'll go from December, there's one average December day on Monday, and then after that it's 50 or below, which is oddly how we started off December and how we're going to start off your January or 2026. This is the thing that's going to hurt. We have had so many ups and downs that when it finally gets cold again, it's a shock and awe to the system. We're mainly going to be either side of 50 degrees, even the low to the mid 50s over the next couple of mornings. But from Monday to Tuesday morning, because that front's going to move through on Sunday heading into Monday, it often takes about 24 hours for the coldest air to get there. We're dropping down into the 20s multiple mornings. So get ready for winter to make a sharp return. However, that was the 10-day forecast. So the 10-day forecast brings you out to January 2nd. That's trending in the blue. But then we have a budding warmer trend that's going to be a possibility for either average temperatures around 52 or slightly above. This isn't a guarantee for an above average trend, but it does show more warmer air will try to move back in. So this is not an epic cool down that gets colder and colder. I think it's a little bit cooler and then it should come back up. So a little bit of optimism to end this weather hit. And Majestic, optimistic is a word for your traffic. This is one of the quietest times you've had.
I think you're right. I mean, I think we've only had maybe 3 accidents all morning long. It's been incredibly quiet, but that makes sense. I mean, a lot of people are off of work. Of course, the kids are home from school. It is Christmas Eve. Hopefully you're at home, taking it easy, maybe doing a little bit of baking this morning or just some last minute wrapping. You know how that goes. This is I-77 at 277. Still a beautiful start to the day. If you want to get outside, get some fresh air. This is what we're seeing out there at Beach Mountain. Again, very, very foggy, high up in elevation. So I've seen multiple cars driving and they have their hazard lights on just so people can actually see them because that fog is so thick. One crash to report that hasn't been cleared yet. It's on Regal Oaks Drive, impacting both directions at Trousdale Drive. So not on a main road or anything like that, but that is our one active crash. No problems in Uptown if you're traveling from areas out towards Lake Norman, say Mooresville. Your morning commute looks great. Usually we see a lot of traffic at this time, but right now things look fine. All right, we're going to send things over to Larry Sprinkle.
Hi, this is Larry Sprinkle. Time for today's tiny town over in western North Carolina, the high country, the town of Cranberry, North Carolina, not too far from Boone, Blowing Rock, in those areas. Population 432, and even though it's a small population, it covers over 9 square miles of territory. Cranberry, North Carolina was named after the Cranberry Creek, which is only 3 miles from the Tennessee line. Known for large iron ore deposits and the Cranberry mines from 1826 to 1930. In fact, this is the sign you'll see there, pretty close to what would be downtown Cranberry, North Carolina. This is a picture taken from the turn of the century, an actual picture of the mines in operation way back in time. So once again, this is Cranberry as it would look today, taken a few months ago, just a beautiful scenic area. Cranberry, North Carolina, that's today's tiny town. I'm Larry Sprinkle.
All right, live pictures right now over West Charlotte from our WCNC tower cam. Already almost 50 degrees outside. Keep it right here on WCNC Plus.
Good morning. Who's ready for a record Christmas Eve? Say what? First time in my career I've got to say that. 75 degrees. That is our forecast high, and our record high, 73. We're already into the lower 50s, y'all. That's really saying something. And our evening tradition forecast, so whatever you want to do or however you feel it, it's going to be very mild for a stroll, checking out some lights, windows down even, either side of 60 degrees. I was out walking in these similar temperatures yesterday evening. I had a very light sweatshirt on, and that was perfect, honestly. And that might even be too warm for some of you. A Christmas forecast, December 25th. We're having a mix of clouds and sunshine. Slight chance for a little bit of rain when Santa is arriving, but highs back to the lower to the mid-70s. 75 today and tomorrow. Tomorrow will be close to a record on the second warmest, but wow, Majestic does not feel like Christmas.
Not at all, but I think a lot of people are happy to see some sunshine out there. Grab those sunglasses as you're heading out the door if you have someplace to be. Hopefully you're just taking it easy today. Beautiful, but it is foggy there. This is a live camera look coming in from Beach Mountain, and that's really been just a watch spot for us. All green, a quiet start to the morning. One crash right here, though. It's on Regal Oaks Drive. We'll have more coming up on WCNC Plus.
Well, we're so glad you're with us this Christmas Eve on WCNC Plus at 8:30. I'm Autumn Bracey, in for Lisa Washington.
And I'm Ben Thompson. We continue to follow that breaking news of the morning. Right now, CMPD is investigating a homicide in Charlotte's West End. We've learned somebody was stabbed to death on Booker Avenue. Medic responded just before midnight, transporting one person to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. About 2 hours later, CMPD confirmed the victim died at the hospital. That investigation's ongoing. That scene is just off Beattyford Road and Brookshire Boulevard, only about a block away from where a missing Charlotte mother, Frasia Baker, was discovered dead 2 weeks ago. She'd been missing since the beginning of the month. Her suspected killer is currently still in custody.
And this morning, we're learning a known Jeffrey Epstein accuser with Charlotte ties is responding to some newly released documents surrounding the Epstein case.
Yesterday, the Department of Justice released a third batch of documents with nearly 30,000 pages. Take a look at this. This is something we came across, and you can see it lists a zip code and address. This is in South Charlotte, 28211. The reference appears to come from a tip submitted to the Justice Department. Does not accuse anybody of any crime, but it does add a new detail to an investigation that has drawn national attention.
And that Epstein accuser, Maria Farmer, released a statement saying that this is a moment she's waited 3 decades for, adding she's hopeful this is going to be a key step for many of the survivors.
This morning, local business owners are eyeing a major federal policy shift impacting the growing hemp industry here in North Carolina. President Trump recently signed an executive order directing the Justice Department to classify marijuana alongside substances considered to be having moderate medical value and lower abuse potential. The move could shift conversations around marijuana here, where only hemp is legal, a move many of the hemp industry say will have potential benefits.
It does put more research in place and allow for more capacity to kind of look into this plant as it can be used for medicine, which is great because it is beneficial.
Any new hemp regulations will take months of administrative and potentially legislative work.
North Carolina Attorney General Jeff Jackson says he is filing a lawsuit to defend consumer protection funds. Jackson made this announcement yesterday after he said the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau threatened to unlawfully and unconstitutionally refuse to fund the agency's operations. In a statement, he shared that Congress created the agency to protect the consumers and that this lawsuit is about making sure consumers don't lose a watchdog for folks. At 8:32, now on to South Carolina, where public health officials are reporting 9 new measles cases since Friday. This brings the total number of cases connected to the upstate outbreak to 153. Officials say 5 of these new cases were known household exposures. 2 resulted from previously reported school exposure. Doctors say vaccinations are the best way to prevent measles and end this outbreak. Well, winter officially started on Sunday, but many of us have noticed that it doesn't feel like it now, but things are set to become winter-like again in less than a week.
That's right. Chris has a winter precipitation refresher to raise our weather IQ before winter season makes its real return.
Winter is officially here, so now it's time for a crash course on winter precipitation types. Let's raise that weather IQ. Let's start with the obvious, snow. We all know what snow is, but did you know the consistency of snow depends on how cold it is from the ground to thousands of feet above our heads? Snow forms when the entire atmosphere stays below freezing. Fluffy, powdery flakes form when it's cold, and heavier, wetter snow happens when temperatures are closer to 32 degrees. Note, but how a snowflake looks really depends on temperature and the level of humidity. When temperatures are below 10 degrees, you have snowflakes that are the most stellar, that look like this. Sleet is snow that melts partially as it falls, then refreezes before hitting the ground. It bounces like popcorn off your windshield and piles up fast. Stat alert! Sleet actually accumulates faster than snow and can often make driving more treacherous. Freezing rain. Freezing rain has a reputation to be the most treacherous. Snow melts into super cooled rain, then freezes on contact with below freezing surfaces. A half inch of accumulated ice can add around 500 pounds to power lines and make driving impossible. Last on the list is grapple. This is also known as soft hail. Tiny snow pellets form in strong updrafts. Super cooled water droplets in a cloud freeze onto the falling snowflake. gradually coating in this rime ice until it becomes a small ice pellet that can easily be crushed in your fingers. So be safe this winter, especially when we're up here saying there's a mixed bag of wintry precipitation. I'm meteorologist Chris Mulcahy with another Weather IQ. All right, I want to expand on this a little bit further. First off, there's a couple of things that you might run into this winter season. One, a winter weather advisory, and two, a winter storm warning. So for one, since we just ended with ice accretion, whenever there's even a chance for a trace of freezing rain, we're going to have a winter weather advisory for the Charlotte area and pretty much up into the mountains. And that's also anything up to about a quarter inch. When you're talking about a quarter inch or greater, that could either prompt a winter storm warning or an ice storm warning if it's really going to be severe. But as far as the snow and sleet totals, these are coupled together because they're both ice. 1 inch of snow possibility is going to trigger a winter weather advisory for most of the Charlotte area. Now, for parts of the mountains, including Watauga and Avery County, it's only 2 inches. The only one that stands from the rest is Ashe County. Your criteria, you need 3 inches to prompt a winter weather advisory. However, I have noticed that oftentimes if it's 2, you'll usually get triggered as well. Now, winter storm warnings, you can just pretty much add 2 across the board. If there's a chance for 3 inches or more, we're going to have a winter storm warning here in the Charlotte area. 4 inches for the areas I mentioned in Watauga and Avery County, and then 5 peaking up in the mountains. Now, if we're talking about temperatures, cold weather advisory anytime it feels less than 10 degrees for the Charlotte area. Around the I-40 corridor, it's 5 or less. Now, an extreme cold warning, another thing that you could see. We've already had a cold weather advisory and an extreme cold warning for the mountains already. Well, it's 0 to -5 for much of the Charlotte area. So keep in mind, those are the things that you most likely going to see. I hope to goodness we are not going to see an ice storm warning, because in my opinion, that'd be the worst case scenario. Not going to see anything like that anytime soon. Now, we are dropping down to the freezing level that we could start to see wintry precipitation once again later next week, but let's focus in on the warmer good. 54 on Monday was the only average day that we have had recently and will have for a little bit. Now, 69 degrees yesterday was fantastic. That exceeded my expectations. I called for 66 yesterday, so missed that by 3. And not mad about it. 75 today. That's why we brought it up a little bit today. We had 73, and we also brought up Christmas Day because the way that the atmosphere is warming up so quickly, we got to factor that in. And over the next 3 days, tomorrow, Friday, and I don't know how that snuck in there, for your Saturday, temperatures are going to be very mild. High temperatures going forward, though. We will see a reduction in our temperatures on Friday because of cold air damming. That's some clouds and some moisture backed up against the mountains, so it could feel pretty dreary for your Friday. Sunshine comes back for one more spike, one more visit to the 70s, then boo! Temperatures dropping late Sunday, and then we're ending up at 50 degrees or below, just how we ended November and began December. Remember? We ended November below 50 degrees. We only had one 50-degree day for 12 straight days ahead into the month. This time, I don't think it's going to last as long. So enjoy what we have. Beautiful day with sunshine, 75, and a not super busy morning commute, yet majestic. I think it'll get worse later as those last-minute shoppers are on the road.
I think so, too. And probably as people are packing up the family, heading out the door, maybe they have to go on a little road trip to get to where they need to be for Christmas Eve night or even Christmas morning. The good news is the weather couldn't be better for any travel plans. You can see this is out in Boone, where we don't have any fog here. Conditions are just fine, and it's really not even that cold outside. I-77 at Gold Hill, this is what we're seeing now coming in from South Carolina. Traffic is flowing nice and smooth. And then there in Banner Elk, it is a little breezy. You'll notice that wind the moment that you step outside, especially if you are out there in the mountains. Otherwise, grab those sunglasses and enjoy a nice morning commute, and not nearly as much traffic as we would typically see because a lot of people are off of work. It's Christmas Eve. The kids are home, still dealing with really dense fog, though, out there at Beech Mountain. So make sure you are ready for changing road conditions. As we've been looking at my map all morning long, it is very quiet. I mean, we have all green right now, meaning there's no big accidents. We don't have any big construction projects. Nothing really slowing you down on I-77 or I-85. I'll let you know, though, if things do change.
Well, Santa may see everything, but even he needs a backup. We're going to hear next how one tiny helper created 20 years ago has now become a massive holiday phenomenon. even though Santa Claus can see you when you're sleeping and knows when you're awake, he still always needs a little help from his elves. Elf on the Shelf was created 20 years ago, and since then, more than 31 million Scout elves, elf pets, and elf mates have been sold, according to the Luma Stella company.
Needless to say, it's become a major Christmas tradition for a lot of families out there. Ivan Rodriguez reports on how it all began and what it means for families today.
For hundreds of years, it's been a big secret.
This Christmas, there's a new tradition for Diana Zito and her family.
It now can be shared if you promise to keep it.
His name is Doodles, their elf on the shelf.
My mom thought of it, and she thought it would be a good name.
The Zitos welcomed Doodles into their home after being inspired by the elves in their son Luca's school. The elves are set up in different scenarios daily to help Santa monitor who's being naughty and who's being nice.
One of his friends actually said, well, I just thought everyone had an elf. And so we were a little bit peer pressured into it. But I think that's just, it's a testament. It just speaks to how much of a Christmas tradition it has become.
20 years ago in Marietta, Georgia, Shanda Bell and her family created the new tradition Elf on the Shelf that has since cemented itself into Christmas lore.
I was sitting with my mom having tea one day, and I looked up and I saw our elf that we grew up with sitting on a shelf. And I said, Mom, we should write a story about our elf.
That idea led them into the Santaverse, creating stories of Santa's North Pole for books, animated series, and fly up north to see Saint Nick, and games. Their impact can be seen through the troves of letters children mail in during Christmas.
So some of them are letters to kids from Santa Claus, some of them are from schools. This one asks us to please don't cancel Christmas. But it says you bring joy to our world, right? And so I can't imagine anything more special than that.
In the decades ahead, Bell hopes to bring more joy to families through their stories without losing sight of the original magic that helped them win the hearts of many.
We take that with a lot of responsibility. We understand that we're the voice of Santa Claus for an entire generation of families.
All right, you want to go look at him? Say, hey, Doodles?
In the end, there's no greater joy for a parent than seeing their children happy on Christmas.
When they come running in our room and say, we found the elf, Doodles is here, Doodles is there. They've just really enjoyed it, and I think it definitely will become a tradition in our house. We'll have Doodles back next year and beyond.
I'm Ivan Rodriguez reporting.
So, of course, they have Doodles. We have Ginger, the elf on the shelf, back for her last day with us here, and she's writing her final letter to Santa, reporting back to how we've all behaved here at WCNC Charlotte. It's really honestly a mixed bag between naughty and nice. Ginger's been with us every morning for the last few weeks, as she has done for now 10 years. It's hard to believe, Ginge. We wish her luck, and we'll see you back here, Ginge, in about 11 months. And of course, some of her friends out there have been up to no good, a little mischief as well. We've enjoyed seeing all your elves on the shelves, I guess would be the plural form of it, as well. You can still send them 704-329-3600.
Well, a Gaston County man is $1 million richer after buying a $10 scratch-off ticket. Ronnie Denton bought his lucky bonus match ticket at a gas station on South New Hope Road in Gastonia. Denton claimed his winnings Monday. After taxes, he walked away with just over $430,000. Ooh, right in time for the holidays. And the scratch-off game launched back in August with 5 top $1 million prizes. Now only 2 remain unclaimed. So you still have time. And people also have one more chance to wake up a billionaire on Christmas morning. There was no winner in Monday night's Powerball jackpot. That means the drawing tonight is worth an estimated $1.7 billion. This jackpot has been growing since September 6th for 46 straight drawings. Now, if you do win tonight, this Christmas Eve, and you take the cash option, that's going to give you $781.3 million. Not too shabby there, Chris.
Yeah, no, that'd be really, really nice. Well, I need to get a ticket. Just letting you know, I am off tomorrow. So if you don't see me, it's not because I won the lottery, most likely. But I am going to play. 74 degrees. That was our high on Labor Day. It was 65 on Halloween. 75 for Christmas. So that's real. we're now going to be warmer on Christmas Day than where we were on Labor Day. Now, this was a cooler month. Now, we're going to talk, or a cooler holiday. We're going to talk about where we're going, when we see our last record temperature, and everything you need to know through the Christmas holiday and beyond. I'll see you after the break. Good morning and welcome back. We really appreciate you joining us on WCNC Plus. So people have been asking me, where will there be a white Christmas? However, the definition of a white Christmas varies. Some people consider it, as long as some fresh snow is over an inch, it's a white Christmas. But a lot of people, and I like this as well, feel like it needs to be actively snowing, especially on Christmas morning. That's where the magic's all about. So here's a look at your snowfall potential going forward. Oh, that didn't work. Oh, there it is. Okay, there you go. Okay. Things are working now. Snowfall potential right now is showing that the best chances for snow right now are in the northern parts of New England. That's going to be right here around Maine. But we're also seeing some western sides of Wyoming, closer to around West Yellowstone. But actually, the best chance for a white Christmas looks to be part of the mountains right here in the east central part of California. Those are really the three hot spots that I'm seeing across the area. So if you're dreaming of a white Christmas, it's not here, because today we're the exact opposite. Majestic actually mentioned this in her Weather IQ recently on white Christmas chances, that you have a better shot at 70 plus than you do at seeing snow. Well, guess what? We're now in that realm, because 75 is our high for today for Christmas Eve, and we're going to do that again tomorrow. 75 is the record high for today, and that was set just 11 years ago. 2015 moved to the back seat. Highs today, mid 70s. That's amazing. I'm planning all the things I can do outside, but also I'm your weather hype man. Whenever we have a chance to be this warm, you have to take advantage of it, because these do not last long. It's only about a 4-day time span before we start to cool down, and even this Friday is going to be a lot cooler. So your evening traditions, that's what I'm calling our evening forecast. I've relabeled it. No matter what you do, we eat Chinese food. Maybe you get the PJs out, new set of PJs. Maybe you drink hot chocolate, whatever you want to do. Just, it's not going to be festively warm. Maybe not great for an indoor fire, depending. Temperatures right around 60 degrees, only the upper 50s as we approach the time that Santa, it's you, ho, ho, ho. Temperatures down to the mid 50s, start off the early morning. Slight chance for a little bit of rain heading into your Christmas holiday. All the way up to 3 miles, we are above freezing. That's how warm it is, and that's how great it is for Old St. Nick. As for your Christmas holiday, temperatures in the lower to the mid 70s for only the 7th time in Charlotte history. Okay, now we get over to our white Christmas queen, Majestic. Maybe next year.
All right, we better luck out next time. I was looking forward to at least, I don't know, cooler weather just to make it actually feel more like Christmas time. But I bet I won't be complaining when I'm outside enjoying the nice weather on Christmas Day. Here we go. Good morning, you guys. If you have someplace to be, area roadways have been really quiet. I mean, not perfect, but really close to it. Couple of accidents now to let you know about. This one is a newer one. It's a crash on Sugar Creek Road between Wilson Lane and I-85 Service Road. Seeing some yellow popping up there, meaning that there are some minimal impacts, but nothing significant at this time. And then this one, it disappeared and then it popped back up, so perhaps it's not completely cleared. It's going to be on Regal Oaks Drive, both ways impacted at Trousdale Drive. In addition to that, once we zoom it out, still seeing mainly green around the area, not seeing any big problems whatsoever. So as we continue to see any changes, if we do, I'll be sure to let you know. Guys.
Majestic, thanks. A quick reminder about grocery store hours today, Christmas Eve. Costco is going to be open till 5, Target open till 8, Walmart open till 6, Harris Teeter and Publix going to be open until 7. As for tomorrow, Christmas Day, your options are quite limited. A few stops are going to be open if you need to grab some last-minute gift or maybe an ingredient, or maybe you just need to get out of the house. On the short list, 7-Eleven, CVS, Walgreens, and Dunkin' all have limited hours. So make sure you check before you go.
And here on WCNC Plus, we've got all the Christmas content you need to get into the holiday spirit. Tonight, we are tracking Santa, but tomorrow is going to be our last night. We'll be streaming Christmas parades around the Piedmont at 9:30. You can tune in to rewatch Union County's Christmas parade. And of course, the virtual Yule log is still burning bright, which is great for Christmas week as well. Well, earlier this morning, we talked about the impact of a comforting Christmas movie. Researchers have found there are several benefits, including boosting your mood and relieving symptoms of depression by providing a warm escape from daily stressors. So we wanted to know what your Christmas movies, and check out this lineup.
It's a tree. I like it.
As I was saying, that was very nicely done. I like the aesthetics.
Yeah.
So we got Elf, Die Hard. As you probably know, there's a big debate whether or not that's a Christmas movie, but you know, we'll save that for another time. Polar Express, A Wonderful Life, a classic. Christmas in Connecticut.
I don't think I've seen that.
I'm not familiar with that one. Is that a Hallmark movie?
I don't know.
Okay.
Never heard of it.
Mr. Magoo's A Christmas Carol. I know of it, but I have not seen it. And then How the Grinch Stole Christmas. There you've got to specify. You talked about the movie with Jim Carrey. You're talking about the original like animation.
Yeah. There's a big difference.
There is.
And I will admit that there are some of the Hallmark movies that Kim watches, and I'm not going to watch this. And at the end, I feel like I'm almost crying. Okay, no, I am crying because they're
You get lured in.
I can totally see that being you. I like the original Santa Claus. It's always been my favorite since I was little, and then it's just like the movie I have to watch.
The one with Tim Allen?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
What about 2 and 3?
I mean, not really. I have a nephew who's 7, and I said, okay, I think you're old enough to watch my favorite Christmas movie. So I told him to watch the Santa Claus, and he watched all of them all on the same day, and he loves them. That was so fun.
They're great.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Live pictures right now inside our Live Impact studio. Julie Kay standing by. She's going to have the latest coming up on WCNC Plus.
Hope you are ready for a record-breaking Christmas Eve. Unreal. We've been calling for at least a record tying. Now we're moving out to record-breaking territory. So that means most of the afternoon will be either at 70 to 75. Truly enjoy it. Evening tradition time, whatever you're doing. Temperatures falling down through the 60s, still the upper 50s. This is great for strolling around, maybe doing anything outside. Even if you're going from place to place, roll the windows down. Enjoy this warmth. And when Santa comes to town, temperatures will be very mild. There is a chance for additional cloud cover, so it might look a little dreary to start off the day out the windows, depending. A hit or miss rain shower, but then once you get to the afternoon, more sunshine and then back to the mid 70s. We will return there on Saturday, but we do see a little dip on Friday. And then eventually our warm up comes to an end, back to winter reality heading into next week. How's the morning commute, Majestic? Still quiet?
It has been so quiet this morning. Not complaining though, had hardly any accidents. Lots of people off of work, of course. All the kids home from school waiting for Santa Claus to come. I-77 there at Gold Hill continues to look just fine. No big problems outside as you're heading out the door. Still a few minor crashes. This one here to let you know about. It's a crash on Sugar Creek Road between Wilson Lane and I-85 Service Road. So take it easy and I hope you have a great Christmas Eve.